Hey guys, welcome back to another series of Tasting Wine. With me today is actually Grant down from Lone Tree, also one of our OG original members of the Blue Island staff, helped us open up Cherry Creek here. We're going to do 3 of the new wines by the glass that we've added since the last videos. Then we're going to kind of do a quick coverage of a couple of our by the bottle onlys, just kind of get you up to speed and get you a little more familiar with what we have at the wine program. So with that in mind, we've got our 3 here, the Picpoul, the Fiano di Avellino, and the Lodi Estates Cabernet. We're going to start here with the Picpoul. Southern France. Picpoul is going to be the varietal. I often like to call it a French Pinot Grigio because it tends to be a very mineral and dry driven wine. Grant, you were just telling me how much you think this works for the oysters. Why don't you give me your impression on this?
Well, I mean, it's such a balanced wine, and I think that with the salinity of the oysters and the plumpness of these oysters, you know, I think it just pairs very well. It's not going to overpower anything. It's it's just going to be a perfect balance with everything in the for the oysters. And
yeah, it's great. Yeah, great. Light fruit, good acidity, real easy, simple sell for anybody looking for a nice seafood pairing. Moving up from the Picpoul onto the Fiano. This one's going to be going from southern France into southern Italy. This guy is going to be very comparable in the sense of dryness, so very crisp, very mineral driven, but you get a lot more floral expressions with it. You'll notice a lot more things like honeysuckle, maybe a little more citrus fruit to it. This one is one that, since we put it on the menu, I've been selling a lot by hand. If you have people that are interested in trying a white wine that pairs well with fish, but they're not just trying to do a standard Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, they actually want to get a little creative or try something they never had before, I would highly recommend giving this to people and seeing what they think. What's your impression?
I think you nailed it with people want to get creative with the wine. This is a really non-traditional by the glass wine. It's one of my favorites. Straw color on it. It's super balanced, and minerality on it is probably up there with the better wines we offer by the glass. It's very well rounded. I find that this would go with anything that we have. When I taste it, I think of that richness of that salmon Oscar, and the way that this would just cut right through it and just balance it out real nicely. So this wine, like you were saying, it's basically hand sold.
Not a lot of people are going to recognize Fiano on a menu just when they're reading through it. You're going to have to kind of know about it and be able to speak about it to your tables.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know that we're not here to BS anybody about wine. We know what we know, but we also want to get them into a glass of wine that they're going to like. This glass, you are going to have to get somebody into. They're not, unless they know this wine, they're not going to seek this out. So this is a great opportunity here to be able to understand and talk about the differences of this wine. And, if they're going with something like the Salmon Oscar, be like, hey, what would be really cool with this if you tried this? And you can give them a taste of it too. They don't need to commit fully on these glasses. We offer taste, and we want them to get into something they'll really like. So, yeah. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Fiano. Moving out of the whites, we're going into, again, a Cabernet. Switching it up again, this guy's replacing, I don't even remember at this point, but Donati was the original one that we were doing. Again, Cabernet, a little bit weird in a seafood house. Obviously, most people are more used to pairing white wines with fish. This guy's really going to be more for your steak and burger eaters. But, as you've probably learned if you've been here for longer than a few weeks, you also just have a lot of people that, damn the pairing, they just want to drink a red wine. Since Grant is more of the California guy than me, I'm going to let him take the lead on the Lodi, because I think he's a lot more familiar with this region than I am.
Yeah, so Lodi's awesome. Lodi is, during the day, very, very hot. They spend usually almost 40 plus days over 100 degrees, and then at night it drops down in the fall substantially. So you get a lot of fruit on all their wines. They're really known for their Zinfandels, but they do great Cabernet. It's a grape that holds up really well with the soil, with the heat, and you know, on this wine, this is a very balanced but big red wine, and you get that because of that heat and the stress that these grapes are under. The soft tannins on it, very well rounded, as I said. It's just a great Cabernet, and you know, I think that like, just thinking about getting a fillet,
Sure.
and just this is what you want to dive into. But this time of year, it is winter, it is snowing as we speak, and do this video inside, which is great. This is a warm glass of wine. This is a very refreshing but comforting glass of wine, and we've had a lot of success with it.
Yeah, this is definitely, compared to our other Cabernets, this one will be an easier entry, a little more light drinking. As Grant was saying, very fruit forward, still got some good tannins and a little bit of weight to it. But you know, if somebody comes in asking for big, bold Cabernet, you may want to steer them more towards something like the Clos de Ball. But for anybody just looking for an easy drinking Cabernet, this is a perfect entry level point. It'll pair well with any of our red meat on the menu. Or really just easy to drink all by itself.
Yeah, it's a good one. Thanks.